integrated supply chain management, ISCM. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
this is purely, like a lockdown proof business. So why we are bringing this model right now, since looking into that current pandemic, and then across globe everywhere challenges, and India we are very strong platform of agriculture product. So why not we can able to focus on that particular platform and export those items under integrated supply chain management. That's what I am going to discuss next few slides. Okay. Okay, the next slide talk about uh, um, so what are all the impacts we need to understand right now. So expanding global market is very very important, especially from India, because we have strong footprint of agriculture, land area, and of course the products are available. Even if you look into all A to Z food related product everywhere, it's getting into that. And not only that, the reason behind, that is one of the income generated areas. Nobody understand that. Generally, the people are thinking food, but that is very good income generated commodities. Now I am looking into that global market, especially in Europe. We want to brand our product in Europe, and then from Europe we need to trade across world. That's where we need to brand our product, and then we need to set up top 5 Europe countries as a ISCM hub. So this is a a target. This is the vision. Okay, this is what we are trying to drive that, and then we need to create a demands in Europe, not in India. India is, of course, it's a supply. We are going to supply the product as a backward linkages, but forward linkage is very important. That needs to be, worked out in Europe. We need to create a demand, and then we need to look into that a lot of repetitive orders and sustainability. That's very important. Not like that one order we get and fulfill that, and then we will look for another order. Those things are traditional approach, but still a lot of time taken process and lot of dependencies and a lot of competitions. So we need to look into that different approach, like we need to tie up with some of the companies, firm tie up, and then we need to sign up some MOU, and then we need to look for some projects, maybe 12 months or 24 months, and then we need to continue our business. That's our mission. When you look into that backward linkages, if you look into that backward linkages are especially right now India, but in future we may expand our things to Sri Lanka or maybe Kenya or some of the countries, African countries. We need to like look into that particularly backward linkages in terms of how we can able to bring the raw produce and then value add that product, and then focus on most of the fresh commodities and general commodities, and then focus on alternative to plastic. So right now, they're very cautious about the plastics. So why not, we look into some of the alternative plastics, which are all, getting into wastage of our Indian earth. Not only that, we are, trying to, bring that particular wastages as a one of the exportable commodities. And then we need to look for reliable business growth and turnover. Turnover is very important rather than the profit. Nowadays, turnover is very, very important. That's where our GDP will grow. Profit is not a major point. The main factor of GDP is the turnover. That's where the foreign currencies are coming to India. And then we need to look into that one-on-one model is very challenged, and then it's a resource intensive and then time intensive area. So we need to look into clusters model and then connect a lot of new startups, wherein we can able to create a lot of new companies and then provide employment to them. That's what like India look into the backward linkages. We need to create some kind of cluster model and then obtain government benefits on export orders, because there are numerous benefits government is giving, but as you know that the car thing is stand penetrate that benefits and get into that. So next important thing, why like we are looking into export opportunities, what is the impact, what is the demand, we need to understand that. Looking into that, India is driving rigorously, because right now it's a minus, and also that overall global export business, India is less than 2%, which is very, very less, as we are having a lot of product in India, but we are less than 2. And then the calculating that balancing our revenue, we are like minus in terms of export, because we are importing a lot of things. So that is one fact. Another important fact, we are getting many upcoming export orders are not related to I need electronics goods, I need some of the automobile. Nobody getting that. We are getting only food related item. I need like a 10 feet container this product. I need five container related to this. So we are getting export orders related to the food product. So that's where our strength is very good. But people are misunderstood that we want to export that some of the automobile. We are going to export some CRM from. No, it won't work, because those kind of orders are very less. Looking into that, we need to focus on where we have the strength and convert as a money. That's what like we are looking into export opportunities. And then this particular model, especially this business, what I am trying to convey, the potential the business like to like mind persons, it seems to be people are thinking that we are one on one. No, it won't work. We need to create an organization. From the organization, we need to drive different verticals, and then different verticals will generate revenue, and then we connect to many kind of startup or organization, so that our company will grow very fast. So in order to do that, I just created 3 business verticals units. One, factory to trade. We are trying to bring the product directly from factory to that particular customer. And then business to business. So what is the major difference between business to business and factory to trade? Factory to trade is nothing but we are not going to do anything. We are trying to facilitate that product to the end customer on their own brand. But when it look into business to business, our brand, we are trying to bring that brand, our product to our business customers, so that directly we link to all retail shops and then raise the demands every week. And finally, third one, which is like living business everywhere nowadays, which is business to customer. So we need to propose some of the area direct or online customer sales. That might be small, but that will give you huge profit. So that's where I am trying to put it's a kind of living business everywhere. Okay. So another important factor is, okay, we are doing this business. How do we, like approach? So we need to approach very, rigorous way. Like for example, definitely we need to focus first ISCM hub in Europe. So we need to plan top 5, like UK, Ireland, Germany, Netherlands, France. Okay. Okay, many people are asking to me, sir, why you are planning 5? Can you able to manage? Yes, this is the incremental approach. Not like that overnight we are going to do that. First, we are going to do Germany. Second, we are going to do UK. Third, we are coming to the demand based. Either it is a France or maybe Ireland. So we need to think how best we can able to take forward this hub based on the demand and supply. Number one. Number two, why I selected these 5 countries? Out of 29 countries in Europe, the top 10 economically well stable or G7 countries are very good, because they have very good in industrial base. They are welcoming a lot of technological companies, especially the companies who are all sitting in United States. They are trying to establish here also. Third important point is that there are a huge number of Asian population floating around, especially for travel and tourism, and then the job, and then settlement. Looking into that, a huge amount of Asian populations are there. Finally, what are all the like important other factor making us to set up ISCM over there? These five countries have very good seaport and airport. For example, UK, there are two seaport, Dilbury and Southampton, and then very good airport like London, and then Manchester and Edinburgh. Very good connect across global, especially from India. And then Ireland, we have Dublin. Dublin is one of the biggest airport, but the port is very small, but doesn't matter because UK is going to cover those things. And then Germany, we have like Hanover, we have very good port. But however, neighboring country Netherlands has one of the biggest port in the airport, which is Rotterdam. Rotterdam is one of the important and very big seaport, but airport we have Frankfurt and Amsterdam. Those are all very good linkage. And finally, coming to the France, France has Paris very good airport, but however seaport is also there, but the airport is very big. So looks like all facilities and then governance also, single window concept, everything is there. They are trying to set up there. And back end, if you come back to that, the very good location is Coimbatore, because Coimbatore has huge number of food product, food commodities are available, which can be value added and export. And then Hosur and Bangalore, very good green belt, especially vegetation belts are available, horticulture and floricultures. There are so many things are there. We can look into that. And finally, coming to the Pondicherry. The Pondicherry, why we are putting into that is small state, but they there are so many like opportunities. For example, which is directly connected to the seaport, Chennai port, just a 2 hours journey. Even if you look into the Chennai airport, it is a 2 hour journey. Not because of that, commodities, especially rice, one of the world famous rice, Vikravandi rice is there, and then like peanuts are available, and then some of the like oil related items are available. Not only that, masala products are very good if you plan over that particular area because of the tropical weather. Okay, and then finally we are trying to do that some of the value chain and quality test and stuff. So these are all the pretty approach how we need to set up this to make successful model. And then now coming to that revenue approach. So this particular business model trying to create very good revenue, how? That's a question mark. So we need to first to focus on the demand from Europe, like setting up the 5 ISCM, but one by one we can start and try to capture that demand, especially for the commodities, maybe top 5, top 10 commodities. And then of course we need to implement some of the like IT technology things. So those things will help us, especially website, app, digital marketing, and CRM backups. So these are why this is required, because we need to operate everything like quick, and then reusable. That's very important. We need to reuse things, and then we need to operate quick. If you want to do that, of course, we need to use the technology that will save huge amount of money, especially back office. Why I am telling that CRM back office, we don't want to put up a lot of resources over there. You can put few resources here. From here, we can generate a lot of leads. And then our vision, especially this model vision, not look for one order and then wait for another order, another 6 months or 5 months. No, we are looking into that new customer, new logo, and sign agreement for any kind of private labeling, and then long-term contract. That's our focus. Maybe If you target per month one customer, we can quickly, within a year, we can go for 10 to 12 customers. So all 10 to 12 customer, if you sign a contract for 12 months or 24 months, so next 24 months, our business growth and plan turnover will be stable. So that's where we need to focus the day one. Not like that. Even one customer says, sir, I need a 40-foot container coconut. No, I am not interested. If they are giving, sign the contract. And if you go for monthly one, 12 contract, 12 purchase order, 12 invoice, so that it will flourish in terms of turnover, especially from Europe to India. And then finally, in the transport, we don't want to put our soldiers, like especially for our soldiers, we don't want to keep any kind of delivery or kind of warehouse. We have very good, like outsourcing concept, especially near airport or seaport. We can tie up with them and we can keep some smart warehouse so that any item coming from India, we need to keep some smart way how we can able to deliver to that different countries, different customers, so that our operational cost will be diminished drastically, or we can say that fixed cost will be reduced. And then come back to the road show. We need to participate some of the road show because this is very important, because there are a lot of food related projects are coming up, especially Europe. For example, improving that immunity and improve that aging factor, and then try to give some of the vitamins to that young school children. Some of the projects are coming up. Those projects we can participate and we can show our visibilities and take the project. So these are all the kind of revenue approach we need to drive. Then then only the revenue will come to our company. And then coming back to that the return on investment, even if you put investment, that investment is going to be kind of a return. How that return is going to come? Looking into that this particular business model, we need to keep some break-even point fourth quarter, not immediately. Definitely 4 quarters it will take break even, because there will be some plus or minus. Somewhere we need to sign the contract, we need to give the presentation, we need to negotiate, and then we need to look into that. If they are interested to visit our place, we need to request them to visit and we to give to them sample. So looking at an average fourth quarter, there will be some sort of slope will come into picture. We can see some good traction. And then 15% growth quarter to quarter. It could be either we are creating the frequency of the export, or we are trying to add new commodities. For example, there are many commodities. If you add one commodity, that will give another 15% growth. Or we can add customer in such a way that our export frequency will increase. Instead of 1 month, we can go with it monthly twice. Or if you increase another customer, we can go to weekly. So that way we need to see the growth. And then finally coming to second year only, end of second year only, you can see 30% assured return. But of course, nowadays people are getting more than that. But keep it in mind, the assured return will come consistently 30%. Maybe end of second year or second year onwards. Maybe first quarter from second year onwards, so it will come, because we don't know that based on the demand. And the exponential growth serving hospitality industry. There are numerous hospitality industries going to flourish in Europe, especially because the reason behind one of the news I went through, that they are majorly attracting that education student, number one, and they are majorly attracting all IT people, and majorly they are attracting some automobile and manufacturing industries. All people, not like India. By default, they will use travel and tourism every month. So that's where they are also getting very good revenue for, especially for hospitality industry. So wherein we need to see how we can able to position ourselves in terms of serving some product or bringing some innovative product which will help them to support customers. Those things we need to identify and we need to look into that. That will be one of the additional commodity which we can focus. And then finally coming to that, as I mentioned, that if we are branding from Europe, we can trade from Europe to many countries. The reason behind, Most of the G7 countries are the trade policy, trade agreements are similar like each other, so that there won't be any much challenge. Unlike India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Singapore, Malaysia, but Europe countries it's kind of very flexible within G7, and then from there we can export to Australia, Canada, US, New Zealand, and then even Middle East. Okay, thank you. And then coming to that next thing, what are all the products? So top 10 product which I am making into grouping into top 10. See, there are some product related to curry leaves and then byproducts and coconut products and byproducts, edible and essential oils, rice and millets, spice and pulses, value-added herbs, radiated products, agro seeds and produce crop, alternative to plastic product, fresh vegetable and fruits. So these are all the top 10 items which you can pick it up any five, any 10 commodity. For example, curry leaves, you can pick up one item. Coconut, you can pick up one item. Edible, you can pick up. So what happened that these are all I am targeting from, especially from Tamil Nadu or Bangalore. You need to circle back. You need to put the radius 500 kilometer, more than enough. Putting into 500 kilometer, we can get all items. That's enough. We don't want to look into that North India. We don't want to look into somewhere. No, whatever strength we have, let us focus so that that will be easy to sellable, exportable. No need to worry about something, some product in Kolkata, and then we need to bring. So that's where I mentioned here. Within 500 kilometers, we will look into some commodity, and those things we can export. And then another important slide. I have already I have a kind of traction, especially one of the company in United States, another company in UK, another one of the through WhatsApp. So if you look into that, the potentially couple of companies, especially from UK and US, they are seeking help, bulk orders, but we need to work with them in a kind of project. We need to look into whatever the requirement, what they are looking into that, what are all the contractual obligations, what are all the payment obligations, how we are going to work with them. Those things, that's where we need to keep ISCM hub over there. Instead of driving from India, if you drive from Europe, things will be pretty easy because they don't worry about that other formalities, because we are going to take care of that formalities, and then they will get it from us. And in terms of payment also, it will be pretty easy. So that's where we are getting into plenty of order. And then coming back to that government, especially in India, there are recently you can see that even after Corona, government is driving to help some companies, not only some company, many companies, but nobody understands that. For example, if you look into that PLIS, PLIS is nothing but production linked industries. That means if you are producing some product, if you are keep on exporting and branding your product to export, in turn you are getting into that order per year 1 crore, per month 10 lakhs, or maybe 1 crore or 1.2. Government is ready to give 10% incentive. That means you can get, if you are doing 1 crore, you will get 10 lakhs. Automatically you will get 10 lakhs incentive. But what you need to do that, we need to only that will come from export. If you are doing keep on export, then you will get the purchase order. Based on the purchase order, you processed your product and exported and given the invoice. Those invoices are attached to your bank. Then all invoices you can, all relevant documents submit to that particularly the food processing industries, and then they will automatically give you the incentive. Maybe it will take 1 month or 2 months, that's fine, but they will, it's assured the 10% will get it. And then second thing, I saw that there are so many like schemes, especially for green projects or some of the cold storage value addition. Those things we can able to help the overall supplier from India. We will tell them that you will be getting continuous order. For example, drumstick. Drumstick we need to supply every week 1 ton. Already visible order. How can you do that? You can't do that just like that by the drumstick and supply. No, you have to properly plan. And if you are planning that, you need to have some small cold storage. So whenever the post harvesting the product come to your cold storage, you need to clean and pack, and then keep for some 10 hours, 15 hours, because you need to book your cargo and then export to that particular country. Then the product will be very quality and fresh. So that way, like, government also willing to help, so we can utilize with the subsidy scheme. So those things are some of the things the government is trying to push. But unfortunately, a lot of startup, lot of companies are not understanding that government is giving subsidy, we can use it. No, not like that. First, we need to keep ISCM. That is a high priority. If ISCM is there, if this person is supplier, this is the things we need for next 12 months or 24 months. Then if you go for the scheme, this is very, very useful, because you will get subsidy, and your loans also you can close within 1 year. Third important thing, if you are doing that, government is giving additional 10% incentive. That itself, one of the things, the loan will be cleared. So these are things we need to do. But a lot of people, what they are doing in India, they are going into backward approach, like back end approach. So if you go get subsidy and then we enjoy it, close the business. That's what our Indian GDP is going very, very low. We don't want to do that. That's what I am driving this business. First thing in Europe. Okay. Finally, I need to showcase, my profile also, because people are asking who is, someone, what he is doing, why he is exploring this business. I want to showcase here my profile. You can read that also as and when I share that. And then finally, I have shared my contact details also. We can discuss. So basically, I am driving this business to bring some potential, shareholders. Even if you get it, like a good shareholder, we can help. How? We need to continuously work. For example, if you are very strong into one commodity, you can own your own IE code. You can own your current account. You can own everything, your name. No need to mingle. What happens if you have everything from as a shareholder, responsible shareholder, you will be getting purchase order from Europe. Once you get the purchase order, then what happens? You are going to process and submit through a letter of credit or advance, whatever it is. That payment we can discuss. So you can earn two things. One, you can earn dividend from the share. One. Second thing, you become a potential supplier, and then you own your own company. You have own current account, so that you can get the benefit of from the bank. Purchase order loan you can get it, bank OD you can get it, and then some of the new scheme you can apply and get into that. Later you can add another commodities for export. So a lot of benefit you will get as a independent entity. So that's where I am trying to explain the essence of this business, how it brings to very powerful. If you integrate the shareholders, it's not one man job. It's very difficult. Even if I have 5 crore, I can't succeed here. But that's what we are bringing responsible shareholder. Each shareholder, if you share some investment, there will be some responsibility from company as well as the person who is involved into that. That's where I'm trying to do that. I'm going to stop here.